Dr. Vidya for the good words that she told me. She was working in my department when I was serving there, and I had seen her to be a very studious, hardworking student. Done a lot of researches in ultrastructure and basic pharmacognostic studies, and she has a lot of good publications, which even now I refer, and I know that she has a great future. And thank you for Principal Madam and the Vice Principal Madam. Welcome all the teachers, researchers, and the students. Since the audience is mostly undergraduate students, I will try to talk a little bit in Hindi also. I have asked for some time so that it will be easy for me to explain things. There is no fun in showing a PowerPoint presentation unless the audience understands you. Now, everybody knows what is biochemistry. Because there are so many courses in biochemistry are there that is hyped up to be one of the best branches. But most people do not know about phytochemistry. And the concept of phytochemistry came before about, you say, 50 or 60 years. Now, phytochemistry mainly deals with the secondary metabolites. Now, biochemistry deals with the primary metabolites. There are the essential organic compounds which are managed or which are managing almost all living process of organisms. Nucleic acids, proteins, carbohydrates, lipids, vitamins, minerals, etc. and their metabolism. They are covered by biochemistry. And biochemistry may be plant biochemistry or animal biochemistry. There is not much of a difference. Now, phytochemistry includes, phytochemistry means, phyto means plant. Phytochemistry means chemistry of plants. We are not dealing with the metabolic aspects, even though metabolism comes in between. Now, this is dealing with mainly the secondary metabolites and even the structure and distribution aspects of primary metabolites. So you can be very definite. Some people say that biochemistry is a living subject, right? Phytochemistry is a dead subject, but I don't know how far that is correct. Now, primary metabolites, you have heard about that. They are your carbohydrates, proteins, and lipids. Now, all those compounds which are directly involved in all life processes, they are always synthesized on one side and they are used on the other side. And this cycle, metabolic cycle, is going on and on. And they form the metabolic pool. And they are responsible for all the living processes like growth, respiration, flowering, etc. And they are almost universal in plant kingdom, being present in almost every plant. Now we come to the secondary metabolites. Now, if you refer to any of the old books, maybe books of 65 or 70, they will say, they will have all these books have a cursory topic called the secondary metabolites. Or sometimes it will be a part of the metabolites. Now, they say that they are excretory products because the plant do not have an excretory mechanism. So they are stored in the plant. Or they are the end products because at the end of a biosynthetic process, all those kachada will be there and they are called end products. And some people called as byproducts. Byproducts means which are produced along with the normal one. See, unwanted things. And some people called it as luxury diversification because, plant want to show that it can synthesize a number of compounds. So it is preparing it and keeping it there. But now the whole view is changed. Now you know that now in this time of corona and all that, people run to plants. This herbal industry, there is a medicinal industry and all that. They are doubling and tripling because people depend on these plants because of their secondary metabolites. Now, biologically, the plant owes its survival because of secondary metabolites. ये प्लांट रहने का आए थे उनको तो सेकेंडरी मेटाबोलाइट होना ही चाहिए. So that is why they are responsible for survival and defense of the plant. All around the plant, just like we, all around us are microbes. There are insects, there are animals. So similarly, the plants also are surrounded by all these enemies. So these compounds help them to be defensive chemicals. Now, they are not end products or byproducts or excretory products, but they are formed by specialized secondary metabolite pathways. Remember that all secondary metabolites are produced after long chain of events. Mainly, some of the compounds from primary metabolites are taken in and they are modified, and new compounds are being synthesized depending on the need. Many a time, the survival strategies are there. Because you know that in angiosperm, there the flower is there, and the flower modification is because of the color, fragrance, and all that. For that, some compounds have been manufactured, and then toxins are there to protect the plant from that. Now, all these plants contain hundreds and hundreds of compounds. Say the total chemical constitution of a plant is called a metabolome. Genome, proteome. Now, metabolome is all the chemical compound present in the plant. That is primary metabolite and secondary metabolite. See, on an average, the plant metabolome of a plant contains about 4,000 compounds. See, remember, हर एक प्लांट में 4,000 केमिकल कंपाउंड है, and that is called the metabolome, and that science dealing with metabolome is known as metabolomics. Then we come to some of the essential aspects of phytochemistry. Why should we need phytochemistry? Say, we know that there is an economic botany. Even in your schools, you are taught what are cereals, pulses, vegetables, spices, beverages, and what is the nutritive value. ये सब तो बताता है, लेकिन उसके अंदर जो additional compound है, जैसे उसमें cereal, pulses, vegetable, fruits, nuts, oils, etc. All of them, they contain a number of other compounds also. See, this is a report appeared in 1990 on Indian Express about my paper, in which I have identified a number of antioxidant polyphenols in some of the vegetables. See, that was new to everybody. So you just see how much we do not know about these things. They're all spices. Many of the spices are medicines now. They say ginger is an excellent medicine for heart problem. Ginger is excellent for rheumatism. Then it is full of antioxidants. All beverages. Beverages means your tea, coffee, and then all medicines. Either it is herbal ho, ya Ayurvedic ho, Siddha ho, Unani ho, and even homeo, they contain in nano scales. And then other herbal cosmetics. Now, herbal cosmetics is a fashion now. And natural perfumes. See, now people do not want synthetic perfumes because that may cause allergy. They want natural perfume. Then gums and resins. Then masticatories, the one which you are chewing. Then woods and silver chemicals. Then biopesticides. See, we are fed up with the toxicity of the pesticide. So we are going to biopesticide. Then we are going for natural dyes because synthetic dyes are one of the main way of polluting the world. And then biofuel, that, carbon problems and all that. So I have introduced all these phytochemical aspects in economic botany, and that was a book published in 1990, the phytochemical approach to economic botany. That was a student edition, rupees 65. Now it was sold out much earlier. Now this is revised and reprinted as useful plants of the planet Earth. I will show you. And then we come to the main secondary metabolites. Secondary metabolites, there are three main categories. When we talk about this, you come to know. Alkaloids, सब लोग सुना हुए हैं alkaloid क्या है. दूसरा terpenoids है. ये तो इतना common name नहीं है. This is not very common name. Terpenoids, people wonder what are these compounds. Then third are the phenolics. Phenolics, some people know. They might have heard about antioxidants and all that. Then there are minor groups are there, amines, polyacetylene, sulfur compounds, etc. So in my lecture, what I am going to do is that I am not teaching phytochemistry to you. I will be introducing phytochemistry to you, in which I will show you certain useful things. And then I will ask you what do they contain. Then I will explain what are they. Now, we come to alkaloids. As the name signifies, name to alkali jaisa hi hai. So they are basic. And they are bitter principles. Kadua hai. So one J.B. Harborn, who is a pioneer in phytochemistry, he has written Phytochemical Method, first book of analysis of plants. So he said, if you go to the field, आप फॉरेस्ट में जंगल में जाइए और प्लांट कलेक्ट करिए और उसको थोड़ा चबा के देखो, वो कड़वा है तो अल्कलॉइड है. So they are the bitter principle. Because of these bitter principles, herbivores, animals will not eat plants. That is their mechanism. That is why plants are manufacturing them. Some are very toxic. Most toxic plants are there, and because they contain alkaloids. Because toxicity is their mechanism of defense. No plant would like other animals to come and eat them. So that is why you say thoda zahar bhi de do unko, isliye wo baad mein nahi aayenge. So this is the largest group, about 12,000, and day and day new compounds are being added. 12,000 ke upar hai. But the fun is that they are mostly present in angiosperms, flowering plants. The common our flowering plants, angiosperms, in which they are comparatively distributed. But even in angiosperms, only 15% of the plants contain angiosperm. The rest 85% of plants do not contain this compound. Now, in lower plants, in algae, it is not there. In fungi, claviceps, ergot, and amanita, there is no alkaloid in pteridophyte, and in gymnosperm, in ephedra. Ephedra, everybody know that ephedrine is a medicine, and taxus is one of the medicine for leukemia. Now, if you want to call them any compound as an alkaloid, there are 4 features. Alkaloid का नाम देने के लिए 4 फीचर होता है. ये तो अल्कलाइन होना चाहिए. The pH should be above 7 or should be a plant product, क्योंकि alkaloids plant में ही डिस्कवर किया हुआ है. And they should have a heterocyclic nitrogen. ये रिंग के अंदर एक नाइट्रोजन होना चाहिए, heterocyclic nitrogen, and they should have pharmacological activity, medicinal property होना चाहिए, तो ही तो alkaloid बताएगा. ना अभी देखो ये 3, एक तो कॉफी है, एक कोको है, एक चाय है. You are all familiar with that. You will be, everybody, even I too have a cup of tea in front of me. Now, what does coffee contain? What does cocoa contain? What does tea contain? Coffee, the active principle is caffeine. And cocoa, that is theobromine. Tea contain caffeine and theophylline. Now, they are very similar to your purines, adenines and guanine. Structurally, I had a slide, but I don't know where I replaced it. Structurally, you know the structure of purine. And caffeine will have the same structure. And because of their pharmacological activity. Caffeine is used as in fever, action 500, उसमें caffeine है. And some people use caffeine in higher concentration as a pain reliever. So these alkaloids are known as purine alkaloids. Now, second is indole alkaloids. Indole means, indole 3-acetic acid. आपको मालूम है. IAA का structure देखो, एक benzene है, एक 5-membered nitrogen containing ring है. That is indole. Now, in this picture, the first one is ephedra. Ephedra is a gymnosperm, but this is not an indole alkaloid. This contains ephedrine. That is an alkaloidal amine. Now, alkaloidal amine means उसमें heterocyclic nitrogen नहीं है. The nitrogen is outside, but because of the pharmacological activity is included in alkaloid. Second, Serpaganda, Rauwolfia serpentina. Third, अपना Barbasi, Vinca rosea or Catharanthus roseus. They all contain indole alkaloids. Indole alkaloids is the largest group. More than 4,000 indole alkaloids are there. They are very common in Apocynaceae, Asclepiaceae, Rubiaceae. So in certain families, these are family characters. Now, I have told you about ephedra, alkaloidal amines are there. Now, indole alkaloid, you have Serraculas, Strychnos, Rauwolfia, then ergot, Vinca, Alstonia, Shankapushpi. Now, you see that this is the indolic structure. The indole base is there, and along with the indole base, that means they are formed from tryptophan, amino acid. Now, there will be a number of additional attachments. See, sometimes it is dimeric also. Now, you know that this is Ipomia, morning glory. Now, morning glory is not a very common plant in India, but in Europe, especially in UK and all that, this is very widely cultivated as a garden plant because of the showy flowers. So, government observers, they saw that 1 year there was a huge demand for the seeds of this morning glory. And then next year they thought there will be a bumper, the whole UK will be colorful because of the flowers. लेकिन ऐसा हुआ ही नहीं है. फ्लावर तो बहुत कम निकला. ये दूसरे साल भी बहुत ज़्यादा सीड्स लोग खरीदे, लेकिन फ्लावर नहीं है. फिर ये लोग पूछने लगा. They started inquiring. They saw that the seeds of these plants or the seeds available from government nurseries are consumed by people for their narcotic effect. वो जैसे hallucinogen, जैसे नशे वाले, वो तो नशा देता था, तो इसीलिए लोग ये इसका सीड लेते थे. Now see, this is all ergot alkaloids and convoluted alkaloids. They have this skeleton. You just see this skeleton. This is lysergic acid. LSD. LSD is lysergic acid diethylamide. And ergot alkaloids contain lysergic acid combined with maybe a peptide or an amine. So this lysergic acid component gives them a narcotic effect. So then government banned. One of my students, that was in 83 or 84, she studied all the convoluted seeds, about 30-35 plants, and all the seeds contain these lysergic acid containing alkaloids. Now, isoquinoline alkaloids. They are similar to indole. I don't want to go to the structure of these things. Now, I don't know whether, see, here, there are 2 benzene rings. This is 1 benzene ring and a 6-membered nitrogen containing ring. See, in indole it is 5-membered. In indole, either line सीधा होता है, 5-membered. Now here it is 6-membered. This is isoquinoline. And they are very common in the very primitive families. Ranunculatae, Menispermaceae, or you know that your Giloid, Tinospora, then Amrita, Poppy, Papaver, Afim, and Barbary, all of them, they contain these. See, that's very common in many of the primitive families. And then you see pomegranate, dadam, and myrrh, pepper, and adusi. Now, both pomegranate and pepper contain simple benzene ring with a nitrogen, that is piperidine alkaloids. This is another group of alkaloids which are very common, and pyridine, piperidine alkaloids, and that is there in supari, areca nut, papaya. Papaya seed contain carpine, pomegranate that contain this alkaloid, tambaku, tobacco. Tobacco का nicotine. Nicotine is pyridine, piperidine type of alkaloid. Then pepper, myrrh, उसमें भी जो pungency है, piperin, it is a pyridine. The name says pyridine, piperidine. Then Tylophora, I don't know whether you know this plant. This is one of the best plants for asthma. I use this for one of the best cough syrups for asthma, Tylophora asthmatica. They contain another group of alkaloid. Slightly structure is complex. It is called phenanthroindolicidae. Now you know this plant, Tylophora. This is the first plant. This is Tylophora. This is Tylophora. And this is Tinospora, Giloid. They say that Tinospora is best for everything. अभी लोग काढ़ा बना के पीते हैं और सब लोग पिलाते भी है, कैंसर के लिए भी, सबके लिए भी. अभी कोई भी दवा इम्यूनो मॉड्यूलेटर तरीके, अभी कोविड है तो सब लोग ये गिलो ही पीते हैं. And that contain isocyanide type of alkaloids. And datura contain tropane type of alkaloid, another group of alkaloid. Now tropane type of alkaloids are there in coca. Coca is not your cocoa. This is erythrosalem coca, which gives cocaine. Cocaine is a local anesthetic. Then mandragora and atropa, datura, all of them, they contain tropane alkaloid. Then steroidal alkaloids are there. Solanum, potato में होता है. Or quinoline alkaloids are there in cinchona. And adusi will have quinazoline alkaloid. So this is about some of the alkaloidal containing plants. They are specific in certain families. सभी जगह नहीं मिलते हैं, हर एक फैमिली में एक ही टाइप का alkaloid मिलता है. Then we come to terpenoids. Terpenoids तो comparatively नया term है. मैं terpenoid बताएगा तो if I say terpenoid correctly, they are isoprenoid, नहीं तो isopentanoid ये भी बोल सकता है. ये सब ये देखो, if 5 carbons are in the same line, we call it as pentane. But if it is branched, this comes isopentane or isoprene. Now isopentane will have a head, branch, and a tail. Now all the isoprenoids, all the terpenoids, they contain multiples of 5. Isoprene means 5 into 1, 5 into 2, 5 into 3, 5 into 4, 5 into plenty. Now they link to tail by tail, head to head or something. Then see, these are the terpenoids. Volatile oil. You know that volatile, or it is also known as essential oil. अभी हर एक फूल में जो स्मेल आता है, आपका परफ्यूम में जो स्मेल आ रहा है, वो सब volatile oil है. They contain 2 isoprene. तो उसमें 10 कार्बन होता है, 10 carbons are there. Then there is a glycosidic, a water soluble monoterpene है, that is called iridoid. Then high boiling volatile oil है, which contain sesquiterpene, that is C15 carbon, 3 isoprenes. And if you come to 4th group, resins, that is gymnosperm resins. जिम्नोस्पर्म रेसिन कंटेन डाइटरपेनॉइड्स. डाइटरपेनॉइड में आपका जिबरलिक एसिड जो है ना, जिबरलिक एसिड है, इट्स अ डाइटरपेनॉइड, and they contain 4 isoprenes and a large number of the taxes. They contain taxol. There is a diterpenoid. There is a medicine for all type of cancers. And अभी आप एंजियोस्पर्म का रेसिन देख लो, ये जिम्नोस्पर्म का रेसिन है. एंजियोस्पर्म का रेसिन में ट्राइटरपेनॉइड होता है 3 into 10, monoterpenoid 10, diterpenoid 10 into 2, triterpenoid 10 into 3, and they contain 6 isoprenes, 30 carbon. So all the steroids, you are knowing about steroids, saponins, cardiac, like I said, ecdysones, all of them. They are the 4th group. Then 5th group is carotenoid, and carotenoids are plenty. And every plant, even when the plant originated, they had carotenoid, because carotenoids are the UV screens, and carotenoids are also medicinally very important. Then polymeric isoprenes, which contain 40 or 50 isoprene, they are known as rubber and gutta. And you just see volatile oils. आपका lemon में जो smell है, the smell of lemon is because of the volatile oil. And you just see manda and osimums, they contain volatile oil. Or jiru, cumin, they contain volatile oil. And everybody knows this eucalyptus. Eucalyptus contain volatile oil. Pine, cypress, they contain volatile oil. And kapoor to sabko malum hai. Camphor, they are all volatile oil. They are all monoterpenoids. Now, this is structural. I'm not going to structural detail. Then these are some of the glycosidic, water soluble. And you know that आप lendana मालूम है ना, या निर्गुंडी, Vitex. And if you make a herbarium or noni का herbarium बनाया तो काला हो जाता है. It becomes black because of these compounds. They are called iridoids. They are also a group of monoterpenoid glycosides. Now this is iridoid structure. Then feverfew, this is sesquiterpene, that is very common in composite. Composite में abscisic acid, BSc वाले को मालूम है, abscisic acid is a sesquiterpene. Or feverfew है kinesia. It is not very common in India. It is only present in northern Himalayas. It is one of the best medicine for fever. So in Europe and America, people boil feverfew and drink it so that they get resistance from common fever. So very much in demand now. And then Jatamansi, you know that. And Artemisia. Artemisia is the medicine for artemisinin, one-time medicine for malaria, even Sahari malaria, Plasmodium falciparum. This is good. But this is now very rarely used because people are afraid that this Plasmodium will develop resistance to this one. Then diterpenes. Diterpene, आपको ये प्लान मालूम है ना, आजकल तो बहुत बोलते हैं stevia. Now stevia contain a compound stevioside, which is a diterpene glycoside, which is 300 times sweeter than sugar. आप 3 किलो शुगर डालो या 30 ग्राम स्टीविया डालो, इसका मिठास सेम होता है. तो आजकल तो स्टीविया चाय, स्टीविया स्वीटनर सब तो बहुत कॉमन है. It is a sweetener, so but it will not. It's a different group of compounds, so it will not interfere with your glucose metabolism. So for diabetic people, it is perfectly all right. Then this is taxol. Taxol is gymnosperm. This contain taxus. This contain taxol, which is very good medicine for leukemia, cancer. CVO said and Taxol. Then you know Jingo. Jingo means ये तो China, Korea, वो लोग पूरा वेस्टर्न मार्केट अमेरिका और यूरोपियन मार्केट कवर किया हुआ है एक प्लांट से, जिंगो से. Jingo contain jingolide. Jingolide is a diterpene. This is the structure of gibberellic acid. Now, jingolide is a very good memory enhancer. And while in our India में हमें 15 memory enhancers है कि ब्रह्मी तो 2 है, शंकुपुष्पी 4 है, ज्योतिष्मती 1 है और अश्वगंधा 1 है. ऐसा तो 15 plant है. We have 15 plants, but we are never in international market because people do not know phytochemistry. This is the biggest drawback. Many people who are working on medicines and all that, even they do not know phytochemistry and they do not know how to identify plants. Now, diterpenes, there are a number of tanchinols, jingolides. Then we come to triterpenoids, mostly steroids. You know that this is not, Kodri is not the other one. It is Rajguru, Amaranthus. Amaranthus contain ecdysone and portulaca, Ludi. This is portulaca and all your Amaranthus, Chenopodiaceae, all of them, they contain ecdysone. Ecdysone, you just see that this is ecdysone. This is an anabolic steroid. अभी ये लोग खाएगा तो उनका ताकत इतना बढ़ जाएगा. एंड एथलेटिक्स में अभी आप कंपटीशन में जाएगा तो ecdysteroid containing खाना ले लो, nobody will catch you because it is allowed. It's a common one. Even the people who have frail health, they can take any one of the ecdysone containing plants. It is an anabolic steroids. And phytosteroids are similar to the normal ones. They are used for cholesterol. Then you see Withania. Withania contain a triterpenoid, withanolide. Or Karela. Karela kadwa क्यों होता है? Karela, it is bitter because of cucurbitacins, a group of triterpenoids. And then brasinosteroids are there. And अभी ये देखो, नीम है और ये राइट साइड वाला is, right one is Samaruba glauca. In Kerala, this is known as Lakshmi Taru and used for cancer. And the neem, everybody knows that neem is one of the very good for fever and for resistance, and also is one of the best biopesticide. Now these are the structures of azadirachtin. They are known as limonoids and quasinoids. Limonoids is the large group. Limonoid means आप तो नींबू पीते हैं ना, नींबू का पानी, उसमें थोड़ा कड़वाहट होता है. अबे अब ज्यादा शुगर डालेगा तो कड़वाहट निकल जाता है, लेकिन that is called limonic, and this is very good analgesic. तो आप जितना कड़वा नींबू पी लो उतना आपके बॉडी के लिए अच्छा है. These are one of the best medicines, limonoids and quasinoids. Or saponins. And you know that you are this sapindus, arita. Arita is used for shampoos and making froth. And you get a number of saponins are there. Saponin means soap-like. Saponins are present in ginseng. Ginseng is one of the best medicines available, herbal medicine available all over India from a single plant, Panax ginseng. While we have a number of plants like smilax, asparagus, brahmi, but we can't reach the international market because people do not know about these things. This is the poorest state of mind in our case in India. फिर cardiac glycosides. ये तो है अपना कलोट्रोपिस, अर्क, आपको सबको मालूम है कलोट्रोपिस. And they say that this is very toxic plant. You know that I make a medicine with calotropis. If you take that medicine, a type of rasgulla, using the milk of this calotropis, that will give you lifetime freedom from all type of malaria. And malaria means even Zahari type of malaria. And I have given to many people. Even we are taking it. All our children and all our friends. Even I have given to bigger government officers. So even some of them said, why can't you give it to the army? Because many of the army people are suffering because of malaria. They are dying. Then I said, with army, I don't want to play with that. Anything happens, they will just crucify me. And these are now, they were arrow poisons. Arrow poison means ye jo American natives वगैरह है ना, aborigines. They used to take the latex of these plants and put it at the tip of their arrow. And these arrows, if they shoot, it will pierce your heart. Immediately the heart will stop functioning. And people studied this. They said that if there is a heart attack, when the heart stops functioning, you give this cardiac glyphosate in very minor amount, and so the heart can be what do you call, reviewed. It will start beeping slowly. Digoxin is one of the best medicine from Digitalis, used in Europe for heart attack. Now, latest trend is that this is very good for cancer, every type of cancer. That is the latest trend, cardiac glyphosides. तो ये जो जहरीला प्लांट्स जो दिखता है बाहर, वो तो जहरीला नहीं है. ऐसा तो snake venom is a medicine now. Then carotenoids, everybody know that, tetraterpenoids, carrot का है, saffron का है. They are one of the best antioxidants. अभी ये जो टमाटो का lycopene है ना, इसका carotenoid, that is used in prostate cancer. This is saffron. There is a cross in actually a diterpenoid, but similar to. And they are the precursors of retinol, the component of our eye. So if you want your eyesight to be cleared, you can go for carotenoids. And these are the structure, then rubber and geta. Then we come to phenolics, which is the last group. Last group means first it was alkaloid, second it was terpenoids, and third this is phenolics. Now phenolics mein people know, I don't know, flavor, what are these phenolics? And I tell them, आप तो चिल्ली खाते होंगे ना, चिल्ली में जो पंजेंसी होता है, जो hot जो बोलते हैं, that is because of capsaicin. And ये capsaicin is the main component in your volini. Volini तो लगाते हैं ना body में. Volini में capsaicin ही है. So to the people who do not like chilies, I say this is excellent for your heart, excellent for rheumatism, excellent for pain. And so add more of spices in your food. They contain very good beneficial phytochemicals. फिर ये तो कुरकुमा, हल्दी, आपको मालूम है, जिंजर इज एक्सेलेंट. जिंजर सबके लिए है, आपका रूमेटिज्म के लिए है, हार्ट में है, एंटीऑक्सीडेंट है. And in my 2 or 3 medicines I use ginger. Then simple phenol. Simple phenol means जैसे चिली में जो है वो simple phenol है. और methyl salicylate, aspirin. Aspirin was discovered from methyl salicylate, from plant. Aspirin है ना जो headache के लिए, as a blood thinner also aspirin is used. Then you get flaxseed. आजकल तो सब लोग flaxseed वगैरह खाते हैं, ये तो फैशन है. तो flaxseed में लिग्नान होता है, और सेसाम तिल में होता है, और ग्रेप सीड में, ग्रेप में लोग बोलते हैं ना कि आप रेड वाइन पी लो, हार्ट के लिए अच्छा है. And it's good for the heart because of a still being called resveratrol. I am just introducing these names. I know that it will not be very useful to you, but at least if you can develop some interest in this, it is really wonderful. That will shape your career. आपका career बन जाएगा. ये देखो फ्लैक्स सीड है, ग्रेप सीड में भी है. लोग तो सीड फेंक देते थे, लेकिन सीड में इतना अच्छे अच्छे केमिकल है. दे आर नाउ, हम ये जो सीड फेंक देता है, पीपल टेक दम एंड सेल यू बैक फॉर 10 times price of that. Now this is some structure: curcumin, gingerol, corticosteroid, podophyllatoxin. टी में जो टैनिन होता है, फ्लेवोनॉइड होता है. लोग बोलते हैं ना, तुम ये क्या ग्रीन टी ले लो, तुम्हारा स्लिम हो जाएगा बिकॉज ऑफ द फ्लेवोनॉइड एंड टैनिन. जामुन ले लो, गुड फॉर द हार्ट बिकॉज ऑफ एंथोसायनिन्स. रोज में जो एंथोसायनिन है, रोज वाटर ले लो, वेरी गुड फॉर योर हार्ट. देन फ्लेवोनॉइड्स. फ्लेवोनॉइड्स में फ्लेवो मीन्स येलो, येलो कलर. ग्रीन टी में जो येलो कलर आता है वो फ्लेवोनॉइड है. दिस इज यूनिवर्सल इन प्लांट किंगडम. एक्चुअली दिस इज वन ऑफ द बेस्ट एंटीऑक्सीडेंट ऑल्सो. लोग बोलते हैं ना, आप ग्रीन टी ले लो फिर आपका तबीयत एकदम सुधर जाएगा. तो देयर आर लॉट मेनी एडवर्टाइजमेंट आर देयर व्हिच आर नॉट एसेंशियली करेक्ट. देन एंथोसायनिडिन्स. एंथोसायनिडिन मीन्स ये जो फ्लावर में जो कलर है, रोज का रेड फ्लावर है, blue flower hai, all these are because of antho. Antho means colored. Cyanidin means, cyano means red colored pigments, and they are very good for the heart. They are very good for the heart, and also eyesight. For slightly elderly people, if you want to delay cataract, if you want to treat cataract, आप जामुन का रस पियो या रोज का रस पियो, एंड दैट इज वेयर यू कैन यूज. अपना ग्रेप ले लो, कलर वाला रेड ग्रेप ले लो, नॉट ब्लू. देखो दिस इज अमला. अमला में भी है ये फिनोलिक है, सिंपल फिनोल है. सोयाबीन में फ्लेवोनॉइड है, दैट इज आइसोफ्लेवोनॉइड. देन आइसोफ्लेवोन सोयाबीन. This is one of the medicine for breast cancer. अभी देखो ये हरडे, beheda, all of them are very good for the stomach. You know, triphala, that is very important. Now tannins, most of them they contain tannins. Tannins, plant elaborated. Tannins appeared in pteridophytes. At that time, the insects were very common. So to drive away the compounds, the insects, the plant developed tannins. You get different types of tannins. And then there are quinones. Quinones are also a group of phenolics. So you know alo सब लोग पीते हैं, उसमें म्यूसिलेज है, लेकिन उसमें जो येलो कलर है, that is important, that is quinone. फिर सेन्ना है, वो कायम चूर्ण है ना, कायम चूर्ण, अरे पेट साफ करने के लिए is of senna, cassia, fistula, garmalo, and that is one of the best antioxidants, very, very good for skin and antimicrobial thing. See, yambal is there, wavding is there, henna is there, all of them they contain quinones. Then they go mustard. Mustard में many people do not like mustard क्योंकि उसमें सल्फर का स्मेल होता है, लेकिन ये स्मेल अच्छा नहीं है, लेकिन उसका जो कंपाउंड है, that is one of the best antioxidants. And मोरिंगा तो आजकल तो सब लोग खाता है, लेकिन उसमें जो जहरीला जो है, जहरीला मीन्स नॉट एक्चुअली, वो जो कड़वा है या तेज है, hot, that is glucosinolates. And then your onion contains sulfides. These are the compounds in plants. These are their biosynthetic pathways. Glucosinolates, they are known as glucosinolates because they combine as glycoside. They are present in almost all brassicaceae plants. And then we come to, Sidabhal, Ramphal, and Lakshman Annona species and all of Annonaceae. They contain a group of compound called acetogenins, hydrocarbon with some structural features. Now, Annona muricata, this one. Annona muricata is one of the best medicine for cancer. Say it is used as cytotoxic, anti-tumor, anti-parasitic, pesticidal, and immunosuppressive compound. Now, many people, they come to me asking whether they can drink the leaves of this one for cancer treatment. And many people say that you boil them and drink. But then if you boil, the compound present in that, they break down at 40 degree and above. So above, and if you heat it, all these compound will decompose. So there is no fun in using them. There is no fun in using them. But it is also good for hypertension and all that. But if you want to use these acetogenins of Annona muricata, you call it Lakshman Phal, you eat the food as it is, the fruit as it is, or make a decoction, don't boil it and drink it. And then carbohydrates, sugar, alcohols, and diabetic people are not allowed to eat any fruit. But now people say you can eat apple because apple does not contain glucose, a reduced form of glucose, that is sorbitol. So all members of your Rubiaceae family, they contain sorbitol-like compound, sugar alcohols. Then there are a number of non-protein amino acids, and they are also medicinally used, and other avenues for phytochemistry. See, you can help in producing very good Ayurvedic and herbal medicine. You can use them for natural dyes. I know a person who painted with natural dyes, and each one of his paints are sold for lakhs. Then biopesticide, and that is the need of the hour. If you want to save yourself from pesticidal effect in your food, in your air, you will have to use biopesticide, biofertilizer, and biofuel. You know that. Now, you can see this book. This is what I told you. The first book was a phytochemical approach to economic botany. Now, this I have revised and published way back in 2012 when I was retiring. And this is by scientific publishers. This contains all these topics, all utilitarian aspect of this, including biopesticide, medicinal plants. And for analysis, there is one book. If you want to analyze phytochemistry practical, this is Analytical Methods for Medicinal Plants and Economic Botany, published by scientific publisher Jodhpur. And this is sold out. Now the reprint is coming. That is sold as 355 rupees. Now these are the main source books, mostly my books only, because I was working on phytochemistry from 1972 onwards. So you can, after my retirement, some of the students came to me and said that, sir, we will do something. We will either cultivate medicinal plants or we will prepare medicines. I said, if you are cultivating, it will take many years for you to get some product. But if you want to prepare medicines, I am there. I had a number of medicine. My students worked on a number of formulations. So with the help of them, see, I am a simple teacher. I don't know business. So they said, sir, हम आपको मदद करेंगे. बाकी तो जो बिजनेस का सब हम करेंगे. अब हमें आइडियाज दे दो करके. इसलिए वो लोग मेरा फार्मास्यूटिकल को मेरा ही नाम दे दिया, डॉक्टर डैनियल्स लेबोरेटरी. एंड यू कैन सी दिस वेबसाइट. माय वेबसाइट जाके आप देखो, उसमें कितने कितने मेडिसिन है. वी हैव 15 प्रोडक्ट्स, एक्सेलेंट प्रोडक्ट, एक्सेलेंट. आप वो दवा ले लो, आपका पूरा वो प्रॉब्लम सोल्व हो जाएगा. बिकॉज There I give original plants. That is very important. And then correct extraction procedure. अभी मैं ginger अदरक यूज करेगा तो उसमें ginger oil हम extract करते हैं. People do not know how to extract ginger oil, so their products will be useless. But I know how to extract them in isopropyl alcohol. Then you can contact me in this Dr. Daniel Labs, and you can see my Facebook account of Maman Daniel or Dr. Daniel's laboratory, where I am giving a lot of stories on plant chemicals, phytochemicals, utility of plants, and in utmost urgency. And if you want some of my medicines, first you visit my website, and if you are impressed by, see, we honestly work. We do business with honesty and with a will to help people. So if you want to approach me for medicine, you can ring me up in my number. And thank you. And I thank Dr. Vidya for giving me an opportunity to interact with you. Okay.
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay.
And for this excellent talk and your presentation. Now I request all the participants we will start with the question and answer session. So if you have any question, you can write down in the chat box, or you may directly unmute yourself and ask the question.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Sir, which plant? Hello.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Yeah. Sir, which plant we use as a real Brahmi?
Pardon?
Sir, which plant we use as a real Brahmi?
So there are two Brahmis. You asked about Brahmi, no?
Yes.
Yeah.
There are two Brahmi. One is Bacopa moniri, that is known as Neer Brahmi, that is slightly bitter. And other one is Hydrocotyl or Centella asiatica. Both are excellent. Both are excellent. And Centella asiatica is good because it is not bitter, and that is very common. It has got a lot of demand outside also. Okay.
I would like to extend this further, sir. Is there any phytoconstituent different between both of them?
Which one? Yeah. See, Bacopa contain bacosides. They are terpenoid glycosides. While Centella containing asiaticosides. See, similar compound, but chemically they are different.
Different. Okay. Yeah. So they have their chemical structure is different, but they have the same kind of property.
And
right?
they have the same active site.
Okay.
They can bind with the same active site of protein enzymes.
Oh.
Okay.
Great. Any other question?
Thank you, sir.
Sir, I would like to ask about the curcumin that in turmeric industry, the actual chemical curcumin is extracted and sold up to Western countries, and just the leftover is sold into India. So, how we can get actual curcumin?
You buy turmeric and extract it. Turmeric contain, try turmeric contain 30-40% of curcumin. Say if you want pure curcumin, you extract them in isopropyl alcohol. Isopropyl alcohol is called industrial alcohol. तो उसके अंदर आप मिक्स कर लो तो ये पूरा येलो हो जाएगा और वो फिल्टर करो and then evaporate it and you get curcumin. Why should you? Because you cannot believe those things which are available in the market. So you do it yourself. I think if you are attending my lecture, you are supposed to be a graduate in botany or a teacher or something. You can do it. बड़ा बर्तन में ले लो ना, या पाउडर करके IPA डाल दो, थोड़ा हिलाओ या स्लाइटली वार्म करो और फिल्टर करो, इवापोरेट करो, प्योर curcumin is with you. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Hold up.
Sir, my question is, so in my college, we cultivate the stevia ribondilla, that is madhukarmi. So how efficiently use of these plant leaves in various methods or various purposes in day-to-day life?
Banduk Parni, there is hydrocodone.
Like stevia,
Stevia.
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 Yes.
Stevia, the main benefit is as a sweetener. Stevia
Yes.
does not have much of a what do you call medicinal properties. It is a sweetener
But
only. Ah,
but sir, how in different ways to use these leaves in day-to-day life?
डे टू
What
डे
are the
लाइफ मीन्स आपको चाहिए तो आप चाय में डालो या स्वीट मीट में डालो या बिजनेस करो. डे
sir?
टू
It
डे
is
लाइफ
very
मीन्स आपको मिठास चाहिए तो ले लो, अदरवाइज इट इज यूजलेस.
but it's very high contents of sweetness. So how?
You want to increase the content of stevia.
नो सर, नो. उसमें बहुत ज्यादा शुगर होता है और बहुत ज्यादा स्वीट इन टेस्ट है. सो उस स्वीटनेस को हम उतना तो एक्सेप्ट नहीं कर सकते. उसके इस तरह से यूज कर सकते हैं ज्यादा हमें स्वीट भी ना लगे और हम लार्ज स्केल में उसको यूज भी कर सकते.
अरे आप उसका पाउडर करो और पाउडर में थोड़ा एक पिंच ले लो ना. आप एक स्पून पूरा लेगा तो ज्यादा सीवीओ सेड होगा. आप थोड़ा पिंच ले लो, वो एक कप चाय में डालो या स्वीट में डालो, हो जाएगा. उसमें इतना सीवीओ सेड नहीं है. मे बी 5% भी 5% से ही कम होगा.
ओके, थैंक यू सर.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Which plant has fungicide properties or which metabolites has fungicide properties?
Can you repeat it?
So she is asking about which plant shows fungicide properties, and similarly which secondary metabolites show fungicides properties, a high level of fungicide properties.
Fungicidal property, I told about alkaloids, almost all alkaloids, all limonoids, all quasinoids, all cucurbitacins, all flavonoids, all phenolics, all of them are fungicidal. So why can't you go to Google and search for the best fungicidal compound? Because I am talking about millions of compounds in plants, and I cannot say that. That depends on which fungus you have. Different compounds will have different activity on different fungi. Different type of antibiotics are there. Antibiotics are specific to a particular pathogen. You cannot use one antibiotic for all. So you will have to see which is the best fungicide, and then you just see the plant and then extract the compound from that and use. It is a very general question. You cannot ask me that, sir, मैं किस में काम करूं, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. You will have to find out. My idea is to introduce you to phytochemistry. That is what Dr. Vidya wanted. नहीं तो आप मुझे मेरा ईमेल में पर्सनली ले लो, आपको कुछ एडवाइस चाहिए तो.
Okay, thank you, sir. There is one question from Dr. Ahmed Abdul Khan, sir. He would like to ask you about. Can you please show some highlights on about latex of allergy of calotropis? That means the allergic properties of calotropis. Okay.
I don't think calotropis is having any allergy. I don't think so, because I use them. And people eat, the carpel of the flower. They open the flower, the two green carpels are there. They just eat. They say it is very good for fever. If you take 5 carpels, it means that bicarpellary. If you take carpels from 5 flowers and eat once, then the whole year you will not get fever. maybe ये इसके लिए कोरोना के लिए काफी अच्छा होगा. And I don't think, and I take latex, put it in milk and boil it and then make rasgulla and I eat. So where is the allergy? I have given to come se come hundreds of people, including IAS officers and IPS officers. And they are all happy and alive. They always remember me, यार तुमने हमें ये मलेरिया से बचा लिया करके. And no toxicity level, ये तो होच पोच है. There is no allergy in it. There is no allergen in that. But only thing is that, in our processing, when you put it in milk, you are purifying it. Maybe the toxins may be nullified. That may be that. But we do not know what actual compound is useful in anti-malarial properties.
Okay. One more question regarding do plants synthesize antibodies like a human being synthesize? There is one question from student.
Have you heard of phytoalexins? You can ask her whether she knows about phytoalexins.
I think Supriya, did you know about phytoalexins?
No, ma'am.
No, she doesn't know.
तो गूगल में सर्च करो ना, मेरा ही बुक पहले आपको मिलेगा. I have written a book that is the costliest book I have written, that is published by Marcel Decker, that is costing $195 only on phytoalexins.
Okay.
So you search Google for phytoalexins, or rather you can see my Facebook account also. I have given a story on phytoalexin, immunizing plants. See, you can immunize plants, that means they produce antibodies. Antibodies are those compounds which are active against fungi. So many plants, you take a diseased plant, it will be synthesizing some compounds in addition to the normal one. They are known as phytoalexins. Phytoplant. Alexis means ward of. Phytoalexins. Large number of compounds are there. Plant antibodies. अब मेरा इसमें देख लो, मोहम्मद डैनियल का फेसबुक में I have written an article on that, simplified article. Or you go to Google searches and search for phytoalexins. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's all. Anybody has questions? Okay, if nobody has questions, we will go ahead. So I request Nikhil Gurav sir to extend his vote of thanks.
Okay, thank you, madam. Good afternoon, all. I, Professor Nikhil Gurav, is here to present a vote of thanks on behalf of all College Saswad on the second day of online national webinar series on recent trends in plant sciences, which is organized by Department of Botany under DBT Star College scheme. At first, I am very much thankful to Dr. M. Daniel for enlightening us with the magnificent world of biochemicals and phytochemicals. The concepts and delivered knowledge will surely help our students to take their career opportunities in the plant metabolites in upcoming days. I once again thankful to you, sir. I would like to express my further thanks to our principal, Dr. Sushma Bhosle madam, for giving us constant support to complete this national webinar series. Now I would like to express my thanks to Dr. H.S. Patil sir, Head, Department of Botany, Vidya Pratishthan's Arts, Commerce and Science College, Baramati. Dr. Ahmed Abdul Halim Khan sir, Assistant Professor, Department of Botany, Telangana University, Nizamabad. Then Professor Siddharam Kohli sir from Principal, Indian Model School and Junior College, Solapur. Then Dr. Nivedita Gaya madam, Associate Professor, Department of Botany, Garwari College, Pune. Dr. Bagal sir from Indapur College, Indapur. And then Dr. Abhijit Limaya sir, Assistant Professor, Wadia College, Pune. Professor Dhananjay Madavi, Assistant Professor, Rashtrapita Mahatma Gandhi College, Nagbit, Chandrapur. So I thankful to all of you. Then I would like to thank Professor S.M. Dorge sir, Vice Principal, Wagre College, Saswad. then DBT coordinator, Professor Dr. V.V. Patankar Madam. Then Dr. S. Jagtap Sir, Head Department of Botany, Vagiri College, Saswad. All head of the departments of Vagiri College, Saswad. All staff members of Vagiri College, Saswad, and on non-teaching staff. And at last, but not least, I would like to all the participants which are present here and for their patient listening and constantly supporting us. So thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. It was a really nice lecture.
Hey, keep in touch.
Yeah,
I'm
sure,
happy.
sure, sir. Okay, bye, sir.
Bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay, welcome.
So thank you, students, for joining, and thank you, Patil sir, Lime sir, Pooja Pandey from Jalgaon, and Abdul Ahmed sir, everyone, those who are from outside. Thank you very much.
We should say thank you for organizing being such a good lecture series for teachers, students, and all plant lovers.
Yeah,
Very
sir.
nice organization.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So I will disconnect here. So we will meet tomorrow for on same time with the same link. You can join with the same link. On 5th day, we will send you the feedback form. You have to submit it and you will get your certificate. Thank you very much for joining. Right now, I'm disconnecting everything. Thank you.